please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so we are back for another hit or miss video where I look at NHL teams' first round draft picks from 2005 through 2015 and determine if each pick is a hit or a miss. Now today we're going to be continuing along with the Central Division, looking at the Nashville Predators. So before we get started, I just have to ask that you please hit that subscribe button, follow along for all my hockey content, and give this video a thumbs up, as those likes really do help the channel a lot and I greatly appreciate it. But let's get into it here. Nashville Predators first round picks from 2005 through 2015, starting in 2005 where they selected 18th overall and drafted defenseman Ryan Parot. Now, Parot is a miss as he went on to only play 106 games in the NHL, scoring 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points and a -18 rating. Most of his NHL career games came with the Philadelphia Flyers, and he was never really more than just an organizational 7th or 8th defenseman, a depth guy. Spent a lot more time down in the AHL playing in the minors, where he was a good player in the minors, but never really made it at the NHL level, and that makes him a miss. 2006, they did not have a first-round pick, so we move on to 2007, where they drafted 23rd overall and once again took a defenseman, this time Jonathan Blum. This pick is also a miss as Blum only played 110 career games in the NHL, scoring 7 goals, 17 assists for 24 points and a -11. Similar to Parot, he just never really found a full-time job in the NHL. Did not last very long in the league and only played 110 career games. So, that one's a miss as he never, really fully made it as a regular NHL defenseman. 2008, they had 2 first-round picks in 2008. The first one coming 7th overall, where they took forward Colin Wilson. Now, Colin Wilson has gone on to have an NHL career and a pretty solid NHL career. However, I am still calling this one a miss because Wilson has pretty much been a perpetual third-line player throughout his career. And when you are drafting in the top 10, and I've said this in many of these videos now, when you are drafting in the top 10, it's not good enough just to draft an NHL player, a third-line player. You are looking for a star player, a top 6 franchise-changing star player in the top 10. And Colin Wilson has not been that. He's now with the Colorado Avalanche. He did play for a while in Nashville, but he's pretty much always been that third-line level secondary scorer. He's played 632 career games, which is a lot, and he's had a good NHL career, scoring 113 goals, 173 assists for 286 career points and a +32 rating. Not bad numbers as a third-line guy, but not 7th overall good. They definitely could have gotten someone better with a 7th overall pick. And that makes this one a miss. So moving on to, they picked again, number 18, 18th overall, where they took goaltender Chet Picard. And this is an obvious miss, a huge miss, as Chet Picard never played a single NHL game. Zeros across the board for him. So obviously not even making it at all to the NHL is a massive miss. 2009, they selected 11th overall in the 2009 draft, and they took defenseman Ryan Ellis. And this is not only a hit, this is a huge hit, as Ryan Ellis has gone on to be one of the Predators' best players, still on the Predators, still one of their best players. They're one of their top pair defensemen, along with Roman Josi. 527 games played, 70 goals, 182 assists for 252 career points and a +113 career rating. Ellis has just been absolutely outstanding for Nashville, continues to be absolutely outstanding for Nashville. I still think has some great years ahead of him with the Predators as well. Signed to a long-term contract. Ryan Ellis was a massive, massive hit at 11th overall as he has become a star defenseman for the Preds. 2010, they selected 18th overall And with that pick, they took forward Austin Watson. Now, I am calling this one a hit because Austin Watson is a regular in the Predators lineup. Now, he really hasn't put together the offensive numbers that I think people expected him, but he has been a good power forward, physical, tough guy for the Predators. He's had 306 career games, scoring 36 goals, 41 assists for 77 points and a plus 12 rating. Again, he's a depth guy. He's a fourth line guy, but he's on the team still. He's a regular in the lineup. He plays, quality fourth line minutes, and he's the tough guy. He goes out, he bangs bodies, he fights when he needs to. And he's put together a pretty good career as a physical fourth liner. And that career is still continuing as he's still with the Predators to this day. And again, if this was a top 10 pick or even a top 15 pick, I'd be calling this a miss because he hasn't really developed offensively. However, later in the first round, 18th overall, the expectations go down as you get later in the round. And just getting an NHL player, an NHL level player at that point is pretty good. And Watson's a guy who I think over a full season could give you, on a good offensive year, could give you 15 goals and 30 points. So it's not like he's completely inept offensively. His role on the team is to be more of that physical fourth line guy and not so much scoring goals. And he really never developed offensively the way that I think people thought he would. But he's still a contributing player on that team. 2011 and 2012, they did not have first-round picks, so we skip all the way ahead to 2013, where they drafted 4th overall and took defenseman Seth Jones. Now, this is a massive hit as Seth Jones has become a legitimate number 1 defenseman in the NHL. He's currently with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Nashville traded him to Columbus a few years back for Ryan Johansson. But Jones has gone on to become a huge star with the Blue Jackets. He's their best defenseman, their top guy. He's played 524 games in the NHL, scoring 60 goals, 198 assists for 258 points and a -7 rating. He's one of the best younger defensemen in the league right now. Him and Zach Werenski are a lethal top pair for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and he's just become a star in this league. So Nashville isn't reaping the rewards of this pick necessarily because Jones is now in Columbus, but that was a great pick at 4th overall as he's become a star defenseman. 2014, they picked 11th overall, and they took forward Kevin Fiala. That pick is also a hit as Fiala, who is now with the Minnesota Wild, has played 287 games in the NHL, scoring 71 goals and 87 assists for 158 points and a -4 rating. He had a breakout season with the Minnesota Wild this past season. And again, they're not, Nashville isn't reaping the rewards of this pick because they traded Fiala. But Fiala is a great pick there at number 11, and Minnesota is now reaping the rewards as Mikael Granlund went to Nashville. Fiala now with the Wild. But it was still a great pick, and Fiala is, I think, going to be a legitimate 30-goal scorer year in and year out in this league. He's still young, he's still improving, he's still developing, and he had a monster year this year with the Wild, and I think he's just going to keep on getting better. So absolutely a hit there. And finally, 2015, they did not have a first-round pick again, so that does it for this one, guys. Obviously, it was a little tough early. Drafting early wasn't, in this time frame, the late 2000s, wasn't a great time for Nashville drafting-wise. However, as we got into the 2010s, they started hitting on all of their picks when they had picks. There were a lot of years, 2011, 2012, 2015. They didn't have first-round picks because they obviously traded them for other assets or, players to help the team in the current situation, but still, when they did pick, they usually picked pretty well. Unfortunately for them, some of their biggest hits are no longer on the team. Seth Jones traded away, Kevin Fiala traded away. Those are some of their best draft picks that this franchise has ever made, and they've traded them away. But overall, they've been pretty good drafting as of recently. It was a little tough to start, but they've been good drafting recently. And that's going to do it for Nashville's Hit or Miss episode, guys. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.